Hi guys, this is 2015. We're going into week 9, and we're going to take a look at the Butler and Rocky River football game. I'm Dale
And
Ross.
I'm Matt Maher, the Pit Man, and this is the battle for 485. We got a little theme going here this week, rivalry week, so
That's right.
we got battles all over the place here.
The old town's in battle.
Both of these teams coming off of victories last week. For Butler here, they got to continue to develop Davis Cheek in the passing game. Um, Carrington had a big game receiving the ball last week. Their run game was changed some with the changes in personnel.
hmm
But for that offense to really get going, he's got to continue to develop and start being a consistent threat throwing the ball. And like they won with Myers Park, they're leading with defense. Defense is still a strong point for them. So let that defense be the leader and play the game with that in mind.
hmm
Ball control, short passes, taking shots maybe on first down off play action off your main runs. But first downs are your goal if you're Butler. Shorten that game, let the defense win it.
Right.
For Rocky River, their backup quarterback Philip Clay played so well. Do they play Clay or do they go back to Carter, who's coming off injury at quarterback?
hmm
Or do you play both of them?
Right.
Give Butler multiple looks. I think that may be an idea against that defense. Give them something else to plan for.
Right.
Butler played a lot of man coverage against Myers Park. You got to run crossing routes and picks and wheels off of that kind of stuff to kind of get um, freed up from that man coverage. You can also run compressed formations, bunch stuff, and Coach Fowler's run that stuff in the past. You may see some of that stuff to get some of the receivers free in the passing game. On the defensive side of the ball, they got to contain the edges. Butler's running a lot to the edge now,
Right.
with the changing in personnel. So you can't let them get outside, can't let them get around the corner. They're running jet sweeps, they're running counters, they're running basic sweeps, things like that. Not running a lot of stuff inside. So if you're Rocky River, contain the edges, keep everything inside, and bottle them up. But it's going to be a real interesting matchup here. A lot of people forgot about Rocky River after their early season struggles. They lost close games. But they're still right there in the conference. We took a
Right.
look at the playoff picture. They're right there in conference, and they got to have this win if they want to have a good shot at the playoffs.
It's a very important game, and
Mm-hmm.
so they're coming off the two game win streak, Garinger and East Mecklenburg.
Mm-hmm.
They've got, if you're Rocky River, you got to fuel off of that and, let that help you motivate going in to this game with Butler. You need this game. This is a very, very important game to make the playoffs. You need that 5 wins. 6 is really a solid place to be. So this is a very, very important game in that regard. You mentioned the plays that Butler's running. So Butler's kind of moving back to the wing T uh, formation and the wing T plays.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that in the game with East Mecklenburg.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Running to the edge again, that's what they were doing. It seems that with Butler, and this is where Rocky River probably needs to look to see is the interior of that Butler line might be a place to attack. And
Well, I'll tell you,
look for
Myers Park sent some blitzes in the interior, and
Mhm.
they were getting through. I think that's why Butler was going to the edge so much.
Right.
So you might see a similar game plan from Rocky River. They just got to come down and be able to support when they come
You've got
inside.
exactly. You got to be able to contain those edges.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Usually, when you play that kind of game plan, you don't have a whole lot of back support for the defense. So you don't have a lot behind you. That player can get around that edge. He can scoot and go. But I think if I'm Rocky River, that's one of the things I would do is I would attack that interior of that line to see can I get through. Of course, you got to be with this offense, and it's not the first time Fowler has seen the wing T, but there's a lot of misdirection in that offense. So you got to be careful when you get going in a direction that the play's going to be coming right back against you,
Right.
and you're not going to be able to make that play. So those are the things you got to look out for. Butler is still kind of settling in with the distractions that they've had, and maybe this past week they've shown that they can uh, sort of put the distractions aside. That was a tough game for them that they're coming out of.
Mm-hmm.
One that we actually, I guess a lot of people felt like they could have lost. And I'll be honest, I had them down as potentially losing that game. And they were able to pull together. So that's what Butler has to continue to do, is keep those distractions aside. And, these new guys that are working into the scheme, you've got to, they have got to continue to step up and, rise to the occasion.
Yep, exactly.
And of course, that change in running may also be the style of back that you've got now, who is better suited, obviously, for the outer edge, because LeMay could do the outer edge, but he's a strong inside type runner as well. So it's a little change in things, but anyway, we've seen some good games out of these two in the past, and
Yes, we have.
so Battle of 485 is what that was actually one Matt came up with. We're just trying to figure it out, and hey, who's going to own 485? At least that stretch between between Matthews and Mill.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.